Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello, my lovelies, my beauties, my royalties. Oh, take that deep breath. Oh, they need to get those Epstein files. And why is America a cheating hot mess? Why are we showing who this country hides? It's like we are a something, but we never want to admit to that something. Kind of like slavery and Jim Crow laws and all the things that they're trying to ban with books and stuff. But that's a different story. But I will give credit to Belgium. They're as petty as I am. Oh, the way they did that YMCA dance. Oh, babies. It was like chef's kiss. It's like, yeah, oh, wow. Chef's kiss. It was delicious. I'm still sad that our team lost, but with how they were trying to win is disgusting. But then again, I have to remember our history. I have to remember how we think that we just deserve everything and that we should be number one just because we should be number one. Yeah. It's like our country wants to say we're the best and we're amazing just because we are who we are. Yeah. But that takes me to so many other subjects. But today we're going to talk about the patriarchy and the dating nightmares. Well, it's going to be kind of a series, but with different segments. Because especially while watching true crime and also my dating life, I see how we're in the mess that we're in. And I keep saying that because so many white privileged people and some people who don't even understand the definition of their privilege, some people who still don't even know how to use their privilege, and that's the funny part. It's like some of these people grew up in the rich parts of the privilege and they didn't even they didn't pay attention. And then there's some who they paid attention to so much and too much to the point where now they're taking advantage of it, and now some of them think that they're smarter than the advisors of the orange man or the lawyers of the orange man, and then they end up getting into some trouble. Yeah. So, but yeah, one of the main reasons, oh yeah, get that scorching hot patty tea, that boiling scorching hot patty tea. If you like it cold, hold the ice because the ice is a hot mess in these streets. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, babies. Yeah, I just uploaded a few pictures today too. And oh, just remember I am days ahead. Like I don't even know what order this is all gonna go in. But it's so funny how I record an episode and then throughout the day I hear other people talking about the same topic. And then they're literally saying some of the same exact things and comparing some of the same exact I'm just like, I just recorded because even like I should get a job on the Daily Show. And also, there's another one where a few times my like my opinion or what I've stated, it was right in line with their show. And I'm like, kind oh well, I can't do like Stephen Colbert. He was another one. But there was another that's still up and running, but I'm still upset with Stephen Colbert. If you haven't watched Our Cartoon President, I still watch. I do watch clips just to. Yeah, 4th of July, I was petty and I watched some clips just to cheer me up. But I see why we are where we are. And again, check out the Patreon because I've got tons of evidence of why and how we are where we are. And part of it is not only because of the patriarchy and the men of the patriarchy, but it's their mothers. With my dating life, ooh, but then also watching I love watching true crime. One, because I learned a lot from it. I wish I learned enough to know when some of these no good garbage men are lying to my face and pretending that they're attracted to me or that they like me, but the whole time they only like that I was like an adjunct professor and taught about 20 classes, and that's literally the only reason why yeah, but they want to pretend because they want to get their ex-wife jealous. Yeah, idiot. Anyway, I'm going to be talking a lot about him. Yeah, he's a new guy on. Yeah, yeah. He told me to stop talking about my trauma because I wear it like it's my armor. Oh, so I guess he better get ready to be part of that armor then. But yeah, part of the issue with the whole patriarchy is the mothers. Because while watching one true crime after another true crime, and there is the one about the young girl who, oh, it's like I've watched her story several times, and oh, she was dating a guy like right after high school, I think. Either it was her senior year or right after high school or whatever. Love at first sight and stuff. But then they were dating, but then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, we're going to go to Florida where his mom or parents moved." And so she got friends, blah blah blah, but it's like her goal was to go around the country in one of those camper vans and stuff. And so, like, at first he was like, that's dumb, that's stupid, or whatever, whatever. But he got jealous. And the mom, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to get to her in a second, but you have to, but both of them have very similar personalities. That's one thing I kind of noticed. And he is such a mama's boy. Another thing noted. But he took his jealousy to the point where once she was about to end the relationship, because he did propose without a ring, and I think a dragonfly landed on her ring finger when he was proposing. So that told her he was the one that eliminated her, which I kind of thought of an idea for an app, but part of me is like, with all the laws and all the ways that people will try to take advantage of it, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna need a good lawyer to write the But anyway, he was verbally and physically abusing her, and one of the times even put the blame on her, even though witnesses like saw that. I think he was, well, let's just say putting a hand to her or whatever. But yeah, he eliminated her. But okay. This is why I'm just like, what in the parenting is going on? Because the mom, she wrote, she wrote a letter to her son and said, "Burn after you read." Well, what? See, like usually when a mom writes like a note to a child, I mean, I guess it depends on the child, apparently. But I mean, I know friends who they cherish and keep those. And I I have the last birthday card my mom gave to me before she passed away, like, yeah, passed away and stuff. So, and yeah, I had a terrible relationship with her, but there's good there. I mean, yeah, there is some good. There was some good. It's confusing, toxic and confusing, but yeah, there was some good. Anyway, yeah, she said to burn after you read it, which is horrifying. But there was a part where she said, if you end up in prison, she will bake a cake and put bake a cake pie something, and she's gonna put a file in it so he can escape. And she said, if you eliminate somebody, she's gonna come and bring the shovels and help him, like, to dig the grave, like, and after, like, once the family of the young lady found out, like, okay, she isn't contacting anybody. What's going on? I think it was 10 days later. They get to the parents' house. They're like, we got a lawyer, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, what? Your son, like, your son's in the house and the daughter's missing. And you're not saying anything. And then the parents sneak out, like, and then the parents are the ones who found his body because he couldn't face the end result. But that's only one example. That's only one example. Because in like the worst acts ever, oh, there there were like a few examples of moms where I'm just I'm just shocked, because there was the one where this guy, he's dated a few women because they were interviewing a few women, and he physically ABUSC'd like all of them, shaved one of their heads, and like she had to escape while grocery shopping and stuff like that. But while he kidnapped one of these women, he needed money, and his mom is watching the news. She sees on the news what he has done, and he's like, give me money, give me what I want. And she's like, but honey, there's choices. Yeah, I know my choices, blah 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 blah, give me the money. And she was like, oh, or I think he said he doesn't have a choice, and she's like, you do have a choice, give me the money. And she's just like, okay, what the crap, no. You call the police and tell the police he just called me. And or you play mommy dearest and be like, so where are you going, honey? Oh, which hotel? Or like you play dumb. It's like, because sometimes I wonder with some of these boy moms. Oh, and there's another example that I saw, and I'm just like, are is this why I have such a horrible time trying to find a reasonable man? Because a lot of these moms jacked up and messed up their sons this badly. Because it oh yeah, I mean, there's another example, but here's another example out of the examples. Because in the same documentary with the terrible exes or whatever, this woman started a store, like a restaurant store type of place, this man pretending to be a detective, and like, but then he r-worded her, whatever, so then she filed a suit. And so him and his mom started calling mutual friends and stuff to go by her house to tell her to drop the charges. He R-worded her. He harmed her, period. He went over to her house after she broke up and told him, don't come back. But the mom even went by and told her to drop it. This is why we have the Epstein files, because like so many women, so many girls want to be able to go to the cops. They want, and I'm going to have an episode about the cops too, because that hot guy last year, or the one that, like, the racist one with the tattoo, like, I'm just saying hot because a lot of the women were saying he's hot, and he had hundreds of women writing him, which I'm disgusted by. And it shows why we are where we are in this country, because when a man eliminates two women and smiles and brags about it, keeps harming Pete, like, because he harmed a guy too, which shocked a lot of women. But our dating habits, we're showing ourselves. And even that Graham Plattner guy in Maine, we're showing ourselves. Because when our expectations are getting so low, where we're gonna accept and vote for anything, it, this is a cry for help. This is when we need to look inside ourselves. And some people are going to be the Republicans, like, this is why we need to go in the Bible. You guys keep cheating on your spouses. You guys keep, every time you guys meet up, Tinder goes down. We keep catching you guys paying off women from having your babies and things. We catch you guys with threesomes. We keep like it's one like you guys need to pay attention to the 10 commandments and act like if you're gonna have a book club with of the Bible, actually read it. And this is from coming from a traumatized Christian. Because yeah, you're talking to somebody or you're listening to somebody who people told me you're too pretty to walk like that. God would have never made you walk like that. This is because you have an evil spirit in you. You have a demon in you. You're possessed. Yeah. Oh, I would have loved my son to date you and go out with you to try to see if you could be the one, but I would never want him to walk around and date someone who's going to embarrass him. It's like he's a man of the church, and I want him to be able to have a bride that looks like she is too. Do you know how many women have said things like that? Do you know how many moms of men have yeah. So yeah, I was like, when I talk about this, I know what I'm talking about. Some people are still gonna be like, "Oh, she's just complaining. She's just making up stuff. She's just." I've been saying a lot of these examples throughout the episodes. I think almost 800. I think I'm almost hitting that 800 mark. So yeah, I'm literally repeating and this is why my ex, Mr. Spider, hated. Sometimes I repeat things because some of my stories fit in different subject matters. Sometimes, like just like references, many students, because even with when in college, when all of the students had to write a paper, everyone didn't write about the same thing, but they had to use the same book sometimes, or at least use that book as one of their references. And all the students went in different directions, but still used it. That's how I use my stories. That's how I use my life and examples. Because a lot of the things, a lot of the trauma and terror and PTSD moments in my life interact with me in so many different ways. But these mama's boys. It's ridiculous. But it also shows us why a lot of women don't go to the cops. Because I'm gonna have a whole different episode about the cops too. Because I have not done an IQ episode in like 2 years, but over the last week or two, so many men have said so many stupid things to me, or so many things that they don't even know what they're talking about. And also, while dating Mr. Spider, a few things have happened since that kind of showed or proved how he didn't know what he was talking about, and or he didn't understand. Like when I try to tell him as someone with a disability and he would look at me, like sometimes I could tell that something ticked him off or he was annoyed with what I said, but he would never and that's men don't know how to open their mouths. It's like they get mad because they're like, oh well, you didn't tell me blah blah blah. It's like, okay, you're not psychic, I'm not psychic. If you got an issue, open your mouth. Okay, but he never did. But something happened a few days ago and it proved why I had it the way I did. But then I remember like he looked at me like something was wrong with me. And after it happened a few days ago, I literally almost started crying because I realized that I need to fend for myself. I need to defend my words, and because I know why I forgot that time, because yeah, there's sometimes like there's reasons why I organize and put things in certain areas, and for some people it's not going to make sense. But when something with relating to my disability acts up, it makes sense. But when people look down on me, judge me, ridicule me, or say this doesn't have to be here, this is odd, or this is this, it's like I have to remember they're not in my world. They're not in my spectrum. They're not going to see eye to eye. And he refused to see eye to eye, or he refused to listen to me. He never like he pretended to listen to me sometimes, but he never wanted to comprehend and understand. And a lot of these men out here, they refuse to do that. And it's to the point where now some of their mothers have to resolve and fix those issues that their sons get into because a lot of these men want to treat women like we're not human. They want to treat us like we're just a birthing unit, like Hexeth's pastor basically said. Oh, that's how a lot of men see us. That's one reason why we didn't end up with Kamala, because a lot of these men are like, I'm never going to vote for a woman. But then a lot of these conservative women said the same exact thing. But then a lot of these conservative women who said that are live on TV, have their own YouTube channels or their own TikToks or social medias, period. A lot of them are making money off of saying be conservative while not being conservative. It's like they are going to be able to voice their opinions while telling women or telling other women to allow the government to take their voice away, take their vote away. And they cheer on their sons like nobody's like, oh, but watching some of these crime shows and the true crime, and looking back at some of my dating life, because I remember when I first got out of college, I was dating this one guy, and he he kind of proposed, but he said he was gonna ask my father, stuff like that, because we were dating for I mean, it wasn't that long, but at the same time, I mean, it felt really right. And yeah, I think I told you guys about when he did get married, and him and we ended up, we were walking around after because the bride was fixing something with her makeup. And so I was going to go in and check on her, whatever. And he had the nerve to come up to me and be like, I still wish it was you. But the reason it wasn't me was because he invited his parents to have lunch with us or whatever. And his mom said, before we even ordered food, I hope you know that I don't want any mixed grandchildren. It's like, if I do, you know I'm not going to give them any presents, and or they better not expect anything from me. The table got so quiet. Even her husband looked at her. Even her husband looked at her like my ex's, like the father was looking at her like, oh, she's racist. I'm not. Don't yeah, don't include me in her racism. Because she even went to the restroom or whatever, and oh, the father is apologizing, and he's like, I don't know where that came from. And he was like, you're like, my boy or my son's been talking about you for like, I was so excited. You're such a delight. You're so like blah 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 whatever. And he was like, I did not, I never. It is like because he wasn't finishing any of his sentences. It was just like, I don't, I can't. What? Well, it's like the information was slowly calculating. It's like, and I mean, I do that with my channel sometimes because so much information I'm still digesting, and especially when I was just cleaning or washing the dishes and stuff, and I thought of something for my novel, and I kept thinking of fragments, and I was like, oh, but this and that, and oh, this part and this part and that part. So I understand where he's coming from, but it was just really amusing because I think he was even, it was to a point where I was like, "Sir, you're crumbling up the bread." And he looked in front of, because I think, yeah, he was tearing it up like it was paper or something. And I remember he apologized because the waitress came to, like, I think she noticed or realized something's going on over here. And I mean, he was like, no, 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 I'll sprinkle it on my food. And she was just like, no, don't do that. Because it hurt. And we were just like, no, don't do that. You put your hands all over that. Like, yeah, you were playing with that like it was Play-Doh. Don't do that. But watching a lot of these crimes and how the mothers are involved, and how a lot of these sons feel like they can just treat women like they're just toys, like they were just to be used. And I think that's another reason when I never got to tell Mr. Spider, but part of me, and I know like some people probably unsubscribe from me because of I've said this, but part of me, I mean, because I've said that this, do I mean it? Oh yeah, I'm starting to do what, yeah. Part of me wants to tell him that one day I hope a man treats his daughters like he treated me. Whenever I tell that to an ex who has a daughter, they are livid. They are so pissed off. They are frustrated. They swear at me. One of them even called me out my name, and I'm like, oh, I was like, I didn't know you were racist. Okay, but and then some of them, I've had a few come back and apologize to me because they said that they knew they were in the wrong and they got upset because they would never want their daughter to be treated like they did me. Some of them cheated on me, some of them lied on me or lied to me. Yeah, lied on me and lied to me because, yeah, ooh, lockup key. Ooh. And he has a daughter. Ooh, I mean, that. Anyway. And Mr. Spider might be like, I was great to you, but he hid so much stuff. He refused to communicate and talk. And he lied about his interests because he never was interested in me. He never loved me. He never cared about me. So one day his daughters might meet somebody with that same fate. They might end up like their mother. Ouch. Yeah, I think that'll be punishment enough. I think that would be punishment enough. But I'm it's really sad how many, because there was this one guy who he kept just saying, "Oh my gosh, you're so impressive." Like, and I can't stand that anymore. So even after the breakup, being on dating apps or whatever, when men are like, "You're just so beautiful, you're just so amazing." No, I'm average. I'm average. Stop, please stop. No, I'm not gonna stop. I'm like, okay, so then I'm blocking you. You're not gonna block me because I say you're beautiful. Block. If I ask you not to call, like, because there's a prime example on my Patreon where I ask a guy, just please don't call me pet names. I want to be called pet names by when I'm in a relationship, when I have a man, when that man is mine. I don't want just random men calling me whatever. Oh, I could have been your man. I would have been your man, but you are not going to control me. Okay. It was just a request. Okay. Because if you're calling me that, if we're in public, how about if another man calls me that? How are you going to feel? If you're not my man and I'm asking you, it's like for not like we could have talked and got seen if we had a connection. It's like I might like after a couple days or a phone conversation, I might have been like, you know what? I want you to call me beautiful. I want you to call me pet names. But I don't know you. But do you know how many times a day I hear this? But thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.